Welcome to Astros Baseball, a podcast by a fan for the fans of the Houston Astros.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of Astros Baseball. I'm joined by my co-host Michelle once again, and we have a very special guest today, Houston Astros, Taylor Jones. Taylor, welcome back, buddy.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me again.
No, thank you so much for taking the time and come on.
Hey, for so sure. you were mentioning that you got your COVID shot. Is it the second one? And you're kind of having a rough time.
I got the second dose today, last dose, and I was doing good for most of the day. And then just about an hour ago, I started getting a little bit of the body aches, a little bit of soreness, and I can kind of feel the chills coming on a little bit. So it was expected. We kind of knew it was part of the symptoms. So hopefully just get a good night of sleep and be back at it tomorrow.
I was going to ask you, y'all are in Colorado, and I told you to enjoy your day off earlier, and it doesn't seem like you are. Like, how was big league travel from Houston to Colorado, and did you get to enjoy any of your day before, becoming miserable with this COVID shot?
Oh, yeah, I actually had a great day to start the day. I'm telling you, the big league travel is sometimes it's a little tough, but it's much better than the minor league system schedule. So I was doing all right when we got in last night, and then had a good morning. Nice little day off. And like I said, it just wasn't until about the last hour or so where I really started feeling some of the side effects. But other than that, got some extra sleep, got some food in, hung out, had a nice little day today.
Hey, you want to tell us about the crazy, situation you were thrust into when they called all you guys up all at once? Because we lost all those guys with COVID. How crazy a day was that?
Yeah, I mean, kind of going into the season, just after what happened last year, you kind of knew that you kind of always had to be prepared for some quick turnarounds or some quick news. Of course, it always kind of catches you by a little bit of surprise. And that night or that day did for sure. But like I said, we kind of had a feeling that you just kind of had to be prepared the whole time. And so they told us we got out of Corpus Christi, packed our bags, and tried to get into Houston as quick as we can before that game that night, because we got told that morning.
So you grew up in Washington, and you got to go play in Seattle. Last year you did get called up, got your first home run, but you didn't get to play in front of fans. How awesome was it to finally get to play in the big league in front of fans? And then also, your family was there, right?
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was everything that I would imagine the big league experience would be like. It was kind of tough last year, not having the fans, and obviously the fans are, a big portion of what we do. And so not having them there was really tough. And so not only getting to have people in the stands for my first time up this year, it was awesome having family and friends that I've, known since my childhood that came up to support this past weekend.
I saw that, I did my research, and I know that your grandparents had a huge influence on you and your baseball, like your relationship with baseball early on. What did it mean to have like your grandpa in the stands? And did your grandma get to join him? I didn't find that out.
Well, it was kind of funny. So the question, or that you might be referring to, somebody had asked me, because my grandpa had actually passed away a few years ago, and he had asked me if he was going to be with me tonight. And I said, yeah, he's always usually with me when I'm playing. It was kind of a joke, and I think they kind of understood what I was talking about. But my grandma, unfortunately, it was always her dream, obviously, to see me play in Safeco Field. She's getting a little older now, so it's kind of tough for her to get out of the house and kind of move around a stadium like that. So she actually wanted to just watch the game on TV, so then she could kind of listen in and see everything from the TV's point of view. So she couldn't make it to the stadium, but I know she was watching. She's having a ball just as much as the rest of my family was. And then of course my grandpa was up there watching as well.
Your wife was able to go too, right? She was probably pretty excited.
Yeah, it was actually kind of funny because she was down with me at the alternate site just visiting for a couple days. And the day she left, the very next day is when they told me that I was going up. So then she had to turn around and get another flight out from home in Las Vegas back up to Seattle for the weekend. So she's been just as busy as I have been traveling and moving around.
How was the visiting crowd for you guys? I was curious about that.
I mean, it's going to be tough all year. Whenever we go to an away opponent, we're going to get booed and we're going to get heckled. But for me, honestly, it felt so much better just having a fan base or even fans just there. My brother was kind of laughing because it was like, he asked me, how was it getting booed every time you got up to bat? And I was like, honestly, it was awesome. I'm so glad that there was people booing me. Yeah, they let us have it a little bit, but that's expected.
What are some key points of or areas of that you want to build upon this year as far as like your skill set goes? Is it like plate discipline or work with the glove?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with this game, you're always really trying to refine everything that you got going. On defense, obviously, it's making sure the glove is sharp, and with me kind of moving around, trying out new positions with third and outfield, just kind of getting some reps just in case they ever, something happens and they need me at those spots as well. And then at the plate, discipline is always a huge thing at this level. I'm feeling like I'm starting to hone into where I'm capable of seeing the ball at. And then it's just kind of making sure the swing's dialed in where you want it to, making sure you're on time to pitches and seeing the ball well. And so kind of just maintaining those things is always the progression, always the way to go about business, and then just kind of take advantage of those opportunities when we get them.
I was telling you earlier that I don't think the Astros are utilizing you as much as they should. I mean, you were 1 for 2 with a walk. You scored 2 runs in your first game. And then the second one, you went 1 for 4 and you had the game-winning RBI. You got I want to ask you about that, being interviewed after the game. I don't know if you look nervous, but you did a great job. It was cool seeing you on there, being able to get to know you and to see you on there. It was pretty cool. It was like I saw like a friend of mine on TV. It was pretty cool. But in addition to that, you were the MVP of that amazing outing by Greinke. Did he say anything to you, or did you have any kind of interaction with Greinke? That's just curiosity on my part.
Yeah, I mean, he just gave me a handshake after the game. Usually there's not too many words with Greinke. He's very simple and straight to the point, but gave me a handshake, and that's all I could ask for. As far as being utilized, I know my role. I know that I'm right now just a guy that has to take advantage of opportunities that I'm given and be there when the team needs me, whenever they need me. And so that's what I'm just going to keep on doing. And hopefully through taking advantage of those opportunities, like I keep talking about, that, that'll lead to a little bit more playing time, maybe a few more opportunities.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to ask one thing, and then it's your turn. I'm sorry, Michelle. Because you mentioned about third base. You remember last time we talked about that you could be the tallest person to ever play third base in a Major League Baseball game? Have you let Dusty know that in case y'all are getting blown out? And if there's a blowout, go tell him. Say, let me play third.
Yeah, I might have to bring it up jokingly one day maybe and see how he reacts to it. But I'm sure they're aware. I mean, Dusty's been around the game for so long. He's very in tune and aware of a lot of things. Even like this weekend, he knows when people are in the stands for you. He knows, when it's your birthday, all sorts of stuff. He's good with those kind of things. And so I'm sure I'll bring it up jokingly at one point, but we'll see if that happens.
I'm highly in favor of seeing you regularly in the lineup because you are very impressive, both offensively and from what I've seen in your minor league work defensively.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, what's it like in game being a DH? How do you stay focused? Are you watching the game? Or are you going back down and hitting in the cages? What's that like?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I mean, obviously you have to pay attention to the game, make sure that you're in tune with the pace and understanding what's going on. But then, especially when we're on defense, usually in the cage, staying loose, getting the swing dialed in, looking at arms on video, or seeing what kind of guys I have in the bullpen as far as what I need to kind of mentally prepare for, stuff like that. Obviously, you're not on the field for defense, so you try to take advantage of the time that you're not out there to prepare for your next at bat or following at bats to come.
Got anything, Michelle?
Yes, you may have already answered this, so I'm kind of scared to ask the question. But is there somebody that you use as a frame of reference for your mechanics when you swing, like your batting stance and make your swing?
Yeah, I mean, our hitting coaches, obviously they keep us dialed in. They're making sure that they know all of our swings so well. And so anytime they see something a little off, they'll make sure that we're, getting back on track, and just kind of feedback with other guys. If other guys see certain things or what have you, we, bounce ideas off with each other and kind of keep each other on the straight and narrow as far as the swing.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're not feeling great.
Yeah, we said we'd go 10 minutes. We're at 11, so
we're good. I can answer any last question, or if you have one more, we can finish it out with one more if you guys have any.
Oh, yes, I have one. What is your playlist like? What is your pregame playlist like, and is it differ from your workout playlist?
Oh man, yeah, I switch the playlists around quite a bit. It kind of always depends on the mood, what my vibe is, how my days have been going, where my head's at. Usually pre-game stuff is pretty energetic, hip hop, something to kind of get you going, get you focused, get you locked in. But I listen to all sorts of music, especially early on in the day. I kind of start my day off. I'll sometimes start with some jazz or like some old school music, something a little slower pace. But yeah, I'm kind of all over the board when it comes to playlists, and kind of dependent on how I'm feeling that day or what I need to lock in on. So I try to have some fun with it sometimes.
All right, Taylor, I hope you feel better, man. We appreciate you coming on. I know, before we start recording, you said you would come back and answer any questions Michelle could come up with. And so yeah. I told him you'd have a lot of questions, and he said, I'll come back.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just anytime. Let me know, guys.
Yeah. So hey, good luck. Hopefully you get some playing time there in Colorado. I know there's no DH, but you can play first. You slide Yuli over to second. Let's get you in the lineup. How early in the day do y'all know the lineup? And then I'm sorry I asked you an extra question.
Usually we find out when we get to the ballpark. Some days are different, but usually when we get to the ballpark.
All right, Taylor, that's it. We'll see you later, buddy. I appreciate it. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Michelle, you can say bye.
Bye,
we'll
guys.
See. Thank you guys for having me on again. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to Astros Baseball, guys. We will see you next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Astros Baseball. Be sure to subscribe to be alerted when there's a new episode.